This podcast is brought to you by Extreme Media.
Extreme Media?
Just press play.
Trump elected, fake Halloween parades, and Ireland in the throes of a snap election. But we're still spending money from Apple's taxes they owe us on magnetic phone pouches. Yes, we have a lot to cover. Here's episode 107 of All Things TechIE podcast.
Here's the show that loves to talk about gadgets and gizmos, from A-Logic to Yamaha, cameras to control panels. You get what I mean. We love talking all things techie. In fact, that's the name of the show. And here is your host, Justin
I'm
Dawson.
your host, Justin Dawson. It's episode 107 of All Things TechIE podcast, recorded Sunday the 10th of November. If you'd like to get in contact with the program, and all the details are on the bottom of the screen, or will be right now. And if you'd like to get in contact, all the details are on the bottom of the screen. You can X me or Twitter at Justin or Dawson, at AV Tech Junkies is the handle for X, formerly known as Twitter. YouTube at Justin underscore or Dawson, and we're on Instagram as well at Justin underscore or underscore Dawson. All the details and how to look back and listen to all the previous 106 episodes of All Things Techie is available on our official website, www.allthingstech.ie. And my thanks to Usheen and all the team for putting on a great display at the Lou Festival of Lights. That was episode 106 of All Things Techie. That got some great comments and feedback on our social media channels, as well as the AV Groupie forum. And speaking of AV Groupie, nearly two back-to-back events with Cork and Logitech, and my thanks to Craig and the team in Logitech for the hospitality and great discussions of the Logitech range of products, and then drinks and food sponsored by X2O Media. Then only last week we had the Avix Exchange live trends event where we celebrated AV Groupie being a year old since the launch in 2023 in the Helix, and it's great to see a network that has over 100 members throughout Ireland and growing, and big plans for 2025, and great to see so many new members signing up after both of these events. Now, a lot has been happening since our last podcast, and hopefully you have been following my other social media channels, where Midwich came out with the Connected magazine, discussing how technology can support neurodiverse people in education and the workplace. This was a topic that I discussed with Chris Netto and Jenny Hicks during the summer, and it's well worth reading. I'll leave the details in the show notes for this episode, and you can get the show notes on our website, www.allthingstech.ie. Also, one to watch after this podcast is Across the Ponds, the last episode with myself and Joe Way, where we were at Infocom during the summer. Yes, it's finally available wherever you get your podcasts or on the HETMA website. But before all that, let's dig into what's been happening in the world of tech in Ireland. We're over Halloween, but this was brilliant and just shows the powers of misinformation online. Thousands of people gathered in Dublin, Ireland on Thursday night for a Halloween parade that was never going to happen. Videos and photos posted on social media showed a large crowds gathered in central Dublin in O'Connell Street, but it appears they were all duped by what appears to have been an elaborate online hoax. The non-event, which had been advertised on a website, myspirithalloween.com, which prompted multiple Halloween events across the world, including the US and cities in the UK, Mexico and Australia. The website had advertised the fake Dublin parade, claiming it was organised by real Irish performance group McCanna's. The event was then touted on social media by users on TikTok and Facebook, according to commentary posted online by Kieran O'Connor, a senior analyst at the Institute for Strategic Dialogue think tank, which looks at the spread of misinformation online. The website was created to generate advertising revenue and included fake reviews, real photos from previous McCanna's Halloween events, fake social media pages on Facebook, and AI-generated text, O'Connor said. The events advertised on the site were real. some of the events advertised on the site were real. The page on the site had featured the details about a perpetrated Dublin parade was altered as Friday to say that it had been cancelled. The site claims to be based in Illinois, but all signs point to a person behind it being based in Pakistan, O'Connor said on a post in X. In an effort to break up the crowds on Halloween night, Irish police posted a statement online saying, contrary to the information being circulated online, no Halloween parade is scheduled to take place in Dublin city centre this evening or tonight. All those gathered on O'Connell Street, our city centre street in Dublin, in expectation of such a parade are asked to disperse safely. Initially, it was believed that the site had pulled a hoax, but Pakistan-based operator Nazir Ali insisted that the article had been a simple mistake. He told the Irish Times that one of his content creators, searching for information about Dublin, had come across references to a previous Halloween parade, assumed it would happen this year, and then published the same details. Ali said it was our mistake and we should have been double checked to make sure it was happening. But newspapers are reporting that we posted it intentionally and this is very, very wrong. My thoughts there, listeners and viewers, is did they use AI? And did AI get this all wrong? Maybe a better excuse there. If we had heard before the day that the parade was not going to happen, we would have removed it, but no one alerted us. It was a mistake. Do you think we would do this, all this SEO for a joke? We are highly embarrassed and highly depressed and very sorry. Are they offering any compensation? Nope. We did say it's election season and Trump will return to power over in the US, but mudslinging is just as bad in the Irish state, where things are really ramping up on social media in the run-up to our general elections on the 29th of November this month, to decide who will be Taoiseach, the leader of the country, and which political parties will be making decisions. Well, listeners, I joked about how Apple money would be spent in previous episodes of All Things Techie, but how's about €9 million being spent on phone pouches? Yes, magnetic phone pouches for all secondary schools in Ireland as an attempt to stop students from using their phones in school.
Are you for real? Seriously, talk to any parent out there who's got a child with mental health difficulties. And show me one of them that says that their priority, instead of getting somebody that will help them, that their priority is getting a magnetic phone pouch that's going to cost the state €9 million. Your government has underfunded mental health for years. So don't try and wrap this vanity project up as some way of supporting hard-pressed parents who know that their children are being let down over and over again. Minister, if you want to ban mobile phones, tell the kids to leave them in their pockets. Don't be spending €9 million on pouches. It makes no sense at a time when schools are struggling, when mental health is struggling. And you dress this up as something that it is not. Do you seriously think that any child who is self-harming at this point in time and who can't get the support through the mental health services, where they are underfunded right across the state, that the priority for those parents is a phone pouch? You're living in cloud cuckoo land if you genuinely believe this. So I say to you now, just like the bike shed, just like the security hub, stop the waste. Fund proper services. Put the €9 million, if you want, into the services that parents are demanding, screaming out for in mental health. Therapists, people who can see them, instead of waiting not only for months, but in some cases for years to see a practitioner.
Despite the government bypassing a motion by opposition parties to scrap this ludicrous idea, it got over the line and the money which was declared a once-off fee will be spent in providing schools across the country with these pouches. But that's not the end of the story. Despite being told that it was a once-off fee, there would be a further €2 million spent a year on the upkeep, wear and tear of these pouches. Would a plastic box at the top of the room to place mobile phones on silent before class not suffice? Well, apparently not. On the 5th of November, Minister of State, Department of the Environment, Climate and Communications, Ossian Smith, today published the inaugural National Cybersecurity Annual Update, providing a broad overview of the work carried out across the government in 2023 in Ireland. The report inputs contains inputs from the Department, the National Cybersecurity Centre, the NCSC, An Garda Síochána, which is the Irish Police Force, the Defence Forces and the Department of Foreign Affairs in Ireland. The compilation of these updates offer a comprehensive outline of the work and developments in Ireland in the realm of cybersecurity. The wide range update showcases cybersecurity work carried out across Ireland, highlighting interaction with academia, industry, and also addressed were advances made in skills and capacity building, cyber diplomacy, and cyber security enterprise development are coupled with status reports on cyber incidents in Ireland for the year, the digital regulatory ecosystem, and raising cybersecurity awareness levels throughout all aspects of Irish society. And cybersecurity still poses a threat to Irish universities, where SETU, South East Technological University, has become the latest Irish university to face hacking on their campus. A full day of classes were cancelled as a result, and staff have been told the campuses which have been left with no internet and no access to internal emails and other online facilities as a result of the attack. Staff were told that the college had experienced a cybersecurity incident targeting its IT systems. SETU said the incident was identified at the earliest possible stage and that its IT team had moved swiftly to safeguard their IT systems. It said that currently there was no evidence to suggest that any data or information had been compromised. The college's Vice President for Student Experience, David Deneve, told staff in an email that SETU was continuing to monitor the situation closely and that investigations were ongoing. The cyber attack has affected only the Waterford campus. Classes elsewhere continued as normal. Last Friday, SETU came out with the following statement on their website. A cybersecurity incident and uphold business continuity in staff webinar held on Thursday. SETU President Professor Veronica Campbell emphasised that the situation is nobody's fault. Many organisations find themselves facing similar challenges. Professor Campbell expressed gratitude for the efforts of staff involved in finding solutions, specifically commending the Computer Services IT team for their exceptional work over recent days. Professor Campbell noted, "I would like to call out the phenomenal work that the IT team have engaged in over the last number of days. They are doing a huge amount of work, and on behalf of everybody, we appreciate that." She also acknowledged the support of multiple departments, including the IT teams across campuses and the retrographics team, whose efforts have been vital in maintaining access to teaching materials. Professor Campbell recognised the inconvenience of the disruption for staff and students, expressing thanks to the collective approach and the collegiality demonstrated by the staff. She added, "I want to thank all our staff for your perseverance as we work through this." Vice President for Student Experience, David Deneve, presented an overview of the incident, detailing the steps being taken and SETU's key priorities. He explained that after the unusual activity was detected, the affected network was promptly isolated and all internal traffic was halted to mitigate further risks. SETU has engaged in external cybersecurity experts and is working with relevant authorities. Ongoing analysis has found no evidence of ransomware activation or data exfiltration at this stage. To ensure any potential risk were prevented, internet access remains offline at the Waterford campus until further notice. Staff had been advised on the interim and arrangements during this period. This is an interesting one from England, but I still think the same stats would be evident in Ireland. In the UK, 90% of drivers say LED headlights are too bright and pose a danger to others. According to recent findings from the RAC in England Commission survey, 89% of drivers in the UK feel that LED headlights are too bright, posing a potential hazard for other road users. Originally introduced as a high-efficiency alternative to halogen bulbs, LED lights are now a standard on many new vehicles. While they're concentrated beams provide enhanced visibility to drivers. This benefit often comes at the expense of those facing these vehicles on the road, causing a discomfort and reduced visibility. The RSC study highlights that 2/3 of respondents find themselves having to slow down and cope with the intense brightness of LED headlights. I wonder, is there an actual standard on the amount of kelvins emitted from these car lights? If anyone knows, please do get in touch with the programme. In Microsoft, Ireland has created more jobs. Tech giant Microsoft is to create 550 jobs in Ireland over the next 3 years, as the company invests heavily in its artificial intelligence or AI operations. The investment comes as Ireland has been chosen as the key location for Microsoft's global AI innovation and ambitions, aiding the development of new technologies for its global operations and spanning some of the company's key focus areas in the future. The tech company said it will recruit 120 jobs immediately. The jobs will be software engineering, applied sciences, security research, product management and program management, with about 15 to 20% of the roles set aside for graduates or those earlier in their career. The remaining 430 jobs will be added to the next 3 to 4 years, depending on customer demand. James O'Connor, Microsoft Ireland's site leader and corporate Vice President of Microsoft Global Operations Service Centre, said Ireland had been chosen because of the availability of talent and noted that new recruits would play a key role for Microsoft. The recruitment will bring more than 4,000 the number of people employed by Microsoft directly in Ireland, with totaling growing to 6,000 when LinkedIn is also included. It also raises some of the overall losses experienced by the tech giant, which is celebrating 40 years in Ireland this year, when it was hit by a wave of redundancies seen in the tech sector in 2022 and 2023. Meanwhile, shortly before this announcement, the Irish media regulator Commission Numan has published its online safety code, promising an end to an era of social media self-regulation. The code is legally binding set rules regulating content on video sharing platforms with their EU headquarters in Ireland, with the expressed aim of protecting users from harmful content. Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, LinkedIn, X, Pinterest, Tumblr, Reddit will be obliged to comply with the new codes or face fines of up to €20 million, or 10% of the platform's annual turnover, whichever is greater. Speaking at a press conference on Monday the 21st of October, Niamh Hodnett, Commissioner Numan's Online Safety Commissioner, said she hoped that the new code would prompt behavioural change at social media platforms. The code also compels platforms to enact age assurance controls where appropriate, including the prevention of children encountering pornography or gratuitous violence. The code does not mandate a particular age verification method, although self-declaration alone is not sufficient to comply with its rules, Ms. Hodnett said. Platforms must also offer the users channels whereby they can report breaches of code and must subsequently act on those reports. And with that, Microsoft-owned LinkedIn was fined €310 million by the Irish Data Protection Commission earlier this month. The Data Protection Commission, DPC, has reprimanded and fined LinkedIn Ireland €310 million and ordered it to bring its data processes into line with the European law after finding fault with its legal basis. The Microsoft-owned social media company relied upon it to process its members' data for advertising and to track behaviours. The DPC, the lead European supervisory authority for LinkedIn, which has its EU headquarters in Dublin, issued a ruling on foot of the investigation based on its complaint originally made to the French data watchdog in 2018. In a statement on Thursday, the DPC said LinkedIn had obtained the consent of its users for personal data to be sent to third parties for the purposes of generating targeted advertising. However, it found that consent was not freely given, sufficiently informed or specific or ambiguous, unambiguous rather, as is required under the General Data Protection Regulation (GDPR) for the information to be used for these purposes. It is the fifth largest fine the Irish regulatory body has issued under GDPR, and the sixth largest by any EU authority since the regime was introduced in 2018. LinkedIn Ireland, which was notified by the DPC decision, has 30 days to appeal the decision. And it sounds like a big fine, but over in Russia, Google is being sued for a small bit of money. A Russian court has fined Google 2 undecillion rubles, a 2 followed by 36 zeros, for restricting the Russian state's media channels on YouTube. In dollar terms, that means the tech giant has been told to pay 20 and 36 zeros. I'm not even going to say it. So 20, 000, 000, 000, 000, 000, 000, 000, 000, 000, 000, 000, 000, 000, 000, 000. A lot of money. Let's break this down. A trillion is 1,000 billion, or 1 to 10 to the value of 12 is an undecillion, which is all the money on earth. Let Google just write a blank check. 12 is it's a lot of money. I can't even work that out. It's more money than what's on earth and some. Despite it being the world's wealthiest company, this is Google, it's considerably more than 2 trillion Google is worth. In fact, it is far greater than the world's total GDP, which is estimated by the International Monetary Fund to be $110 trillion. And they want a trillion or something like that. The fine has reached such a gargantuan level because the state news agency TASS has highlighted its rapidly increasing the fine all the time. According to TASS, or TASS, Kremlin spokesperson Dmitry Peskov admitted he cannot even pronounce this number, but urged Google to management to pay attention. The fine on Google relates to the restriction of content of the 17 Russian media channels on YouTube. While this started in 2020, it escalated after Russia's full-scale invasion of Ukraine 2 years later. That saw most of Western companies pull out of Russia with doing business that was also tightly restricted by sanctions. Russian media outlets also banned in Europe, prompting retaliatory measures from Moscow. In 2022, Google's local subsidiary was declared bankrupt, and the company has stopped offering its commercial services in Russia, such as advertising. However, its products are not completely banned in the country. Well, we're coming near the end of the year, which means plenty of winter lights and light festivals that I hope to be attending and showing you some behind-the-scenes magic on the run-up to Christmas. I will also be attending some events held by Adobe in Dublin next week, so stay tuned for that. And of course, in February, which is just around the corner, it will be ISE 2025. ISE will allow you to reconnect with wonder and wow. Registration is open for the Integrated Systems Europe ISE, the world-renowned annual tech show for systems integration and the audiovisual industry. Returning to the Fira in Barcelona Gran Via from the 4th to 7th of February, the ISE team is promising the most dynamic and engaging show yet, with a host of new initiatives and features, an expanded, more easily accessible content program, as well as the unveiling of Hall 8.1, assessed via the conveniently located North Access Point. Mike Blackman, Managing Director for Integrated System Events, shared his excitement and said ISE 2025 will be our most ambitious, inspiring and motivating edition to date. ISE is the global destination to get your connection restored with the industry, to virtually impossible experiences, unrivaled networking opportunities and state-of-the-art technology, as even more chance for career and personal development. With the show floor already 20% bigger, the addition of exciting new features and our world-class content program that digs deep into the most significant megatrends shaping our industry, IC 2025 will be the place for people wanting to keep pace and advance the industry of tomorrow. Nestled in the heart of Congress Square, Innovation Park is set to be an essential destination for the industry leaders and forward-thinking startups alike. This vibrant initiative offers a unique opportunity for emerging businesses to present groundbreaking ideas and forge meaningful connections with key players in the industry. Featuring a dedicated pitching stage created by the renowned venture capital experts at Plug and Play, Innovation Park will host dynamic pitch sessions across all 4 days of the show. This is an indispensable chance to engage with the future of innovation and explore collaboration opportunities that can shape the industry landscape. For the 2025 edition, IC will expand into Hall 8.1, featuring cutting-edge technology and innovative solutions from leading exhibitors, providing attendees with a comprehensive view of the future of AV and systems integration. Featuring 3 entrances, the opening of Fira de Barcelona's North Access will enhance accessibility, and the venue will facilitate faster access to halls 4 and to 8 and the audio demo rooms. This improvement reflects IC's commitment to providing a seamless and enjoyable experience for all attendees. I will be there at IC 2025 and I hope that you will come by the influencer area and say hello to me, and I'm sure there'll be plenty of meetups as well, and I will also be on the show floor at ISE 2025. More to come on that, along with everything else. That's all I have time for episode 107 of the All Things Techie podcast. My thanks to you for tuning in and viewing the podcast. As always, if you want to get in contact with the program, the details are now on the bottom of the screen. You can tweet me at Justin or Dawson, at AV Tech Junkies is the X handle for our show. I'm on YouTube, Justin_or_Dawson. Instagram, Justin_or_Dawson. I'm also on LinkedIn. All the details on our official website, www.allthingstech.ie. See you next time. Goodbye.
Thank you for tuning in to All Things Techie podcast, part of the Extreme Media Network. Follow us on Twitter at AV Tech Junkies. Subscribe to us wherever you get your podcasts. You can also watch our show on YouTube by visiting youtube.com/@Justin_or_Dawson. Previous episodes of our show can be found on our official site, www.allthingstech.ie. For advertising and sponsorship opportunities, please visit www.extrememedia.ie.